Broadcasting live on Spreaker.com, you're listening to What's the Score? The Sports News Quiz, presented by Sports Radio America. I'm your game master, Josh Scheibe, the man who had to quit playing sports after one too many trips to the doctor. Sounds sad, I know, but let's face it, sometimes you want to go where everybody knows your name. Well, here's a man whose name we know and love, your host of the BLC studios in Milwaukee, Wisconsin, Baxter Colburn.
Thank you, Josh. Thank you, everybody. I can't say I have quite the same rapport at the local hospital as you do, Josh, but I appreciate the shout-out, though. We have a great show in store for you today. We have a battle within the war today, as well as some of our panelists have a little bit of extra fighting words, but we'll get to them in a minute. You don't want to spoil the surprise yet.
Before we welcome in our first contestant, we'd like to encourage all of you to go check out our social media pages. On Facebook, you can find us at What's the Score, and on Twitter and Instagram at WTS Sports Quiz.
Today's show is also being broadcast live on Facebook as well, so hello to all of you Facebook viewers. Thank you for watching. If you have any comments, questions, prayer requests, or anything else, we'll be happy to answer those during the commercial break, so stay tuned for that. Before we get to that, though, if you'd like to play our games on the air, you can email us by going to WTSSportsQuiz@gmail.com or visit our social media pages and click on the pinned post at the top of each page.
If you ever miss a show, you can find it on Spreaker.com and the Spreaker app, iTunes, the College Tailgate, the Sports Quotient, and on Stitcher. Just type What's the Score in the search bar and click on the latest episode. Also, if you think our show is worth at least $1, why not donate to our Patreon account? Just search What's the Score and donate today.
Let's meet our panelists this week. First up, it's been a long time, but he's finally back, a sports broadcaster and a lover of all Wisconsin and St. Louis sports. It is Grant Coppersmith.
And once the Rams got out of town, yeah, they're off my list.
You're not going to the bandwagon?
No,
done.
LA, we're done.
Fair enough.
Strictly St. Louis now.
I love it. Next up, our token Detroit Lions fan who is looking forward to year number 59 of a long rebuilding project. It is Michael Sear.
Dressed for failure this afternoon, gentlemen. Dressed for failure.
And finally, a new man on the panel. He's the co-editor of GBM Wolverine on Fansided.com and a freelance music writer. It is Chris Gibbons.
Hey, I'm just happy to finally be here on the show. I've been waiting a few months to
I know.
get out
We
here.
finally made it happen, Chris. Well, we are excited. Welcome to the show panel today, Chris. Is your first time on the panel, so we're very excited about that. And it's also the first time, Game Master Scheibe, that we have two Detroit Lion fans on our panel.
That's very true.
Therefore, Grant, you win by default, so congratulations.
Hey!
That's our show. Thank you, everybody, for coming today. We appreciate it.
Thank you.
And we'll see you next week.
Yeah, I was waiting for a long time. I'm going to be really far behind at points, and then I'm going to be the slow guy that they don't cover and just catch the ball to win the game.
That's as long as there's no time left on the clock. That's all that matters.
That's how I do it.
Well, panel, we'd be lying if we said your questions today are going to be as easy to answer as we know who's going to be the winner of the NFC North. However, we will get to your questions just a little later in the show.
It is time now to get this show on the road with our first contestant game. Joining us on the phone to play Quotable Context is Lutram Rexhaj from New York. Welcome to the show, Lutram.
Thanks for having me, guys.
We're very happy to have you here, Lutram. Welcome. All right, Lutram, you're going to be playing our first game called Quotable Context. Live radio is beautiful. Game Master Scheibe, you will read 5 quotes from this week's news, and you must identify the context of each quote. Correctly answer 3 out of 5 questions correctly, and you will win our prize, a What's the Score t-shirt. Now, if you do get stuck on a question, you are allowed to ask one panelist for help on only one question, so choose wisely. Are you ready to play, sir?
As ready as I'll ever be.
Okay, here is your first clue.
I could never play in this soft era. All my contract money would go to fines.
That was Gary Payton tweeting out this week that he could never see himself playing in what professional league, doing it being so soft right now?
The NBA.
Yes, that is correct. Yes, it really does seem like anybody can get a foul nowadays. During the last Golden State and Oklahoma City Thunder game, Steph Curry was given a foul 10 seconds into the game. It's like, let him play, for gosh sakes. The refs want to dictate the play of the game, but you know what? Just let him play a little bit. Gary Payton would definitely be fined heavily. All right, here is your next quote.
I would love it if fans at Yankee Stadium gave me a standing ovation.
That was what Boston Red Sox player who is retiring at the end of this upcoming season?
Is it Big Papi, David Ortiz?
Yes, that is correct. I'm not exactly sure if they would do it, but it's an interesting sentiment to ask Yankee fans, the number one, to do anything, and number two, to actually have them have a standing ovation for someone like Big Papi. But he's well respected around the league, so you'd assume, why not, maybe. All right, you're 2 for 2. Let's see if we can keep rolling with this perfect streak.
He's a rule breaker when it comes to jump shooting. He becomes a problem in the video game world.
That was NBA 2K makers commenting on how they can't seem to figure out what to do with what player in the game.
Gotta be Steph Curry, right?
Yes, that is correct. Nicely done.
And Steph Curry is about as broken in real life as he is broken in 2K. What did he hit? 12 3-pointers or something like that last night? The man is an absolute monster.
He's had 3 games over 40 points the last 3 or 4 games here. It's ridiculous.
He just pulled up for a game winner last night from 35 feet.
And that was, a short shot for him, too.
Two games ago, he had to make 21 threes in order to match his NBA season 3-point record. Now he's got it by 2
Oh,
threes.
my gosh. Wow. And the funny part about it, though, too, is that after their victory yesterday against Oklahoma City Thunder. Holy cow, that's why we can't write this stuff, folks. They've now clinched a playoff spot, and it is only February, so it's a little ridiculous. All right, here is your next quote.
We might shock you this year.
That was Green Bay Packers head coach Mike McCarthy telling the media that his team might actually do what this offseason?
Can you repeat that one more time for me?
Yes, here's the quote one more time for you.
We might shock you this year.
That was Green Bay Packers head coach Mike McCarthy telling the media that his team might actually do what this offseason?
I'm going to need some help on this one.
Okay, who would you like to ask? Would you like to ask Michael, Grant, or Chris?
I think Chris will help me on this one.
Okay, Chris, what can you do to help out our good friend Lutram?
All right, I can tell him that usually the Packers are heavily focused on building their team in the draft, so this is a little different.
Does that help you at all, sir?
So they'll be signing a free agent?
Yes! Yes! Packer fans everywhere immediately started celebrating, then still realized that Ted Thompson is still the GM, so they don't want to get their hopes up too high. But yes, Coach Mike McCarthy may be trying to stick it to the man a little bit. We've heard him a couple times this offseason say that he's not exactly happy with how Thompson runs the team and that he's going to try to sign some free agents. So we'll see if the team actually does that. All right, Lutram, this is exciting. We have a chance to go for perfect. Here is your final quote.
I've never had a problem with the size of my hands.
That was Jared Goff telling the media he is surprised experts at what event are so concerned about his hand size.
The NFL Combine.
Yes, that is correct. Yes, Jared Goff did fairly well for himself at North Dakota State. Only fumbled the ball 4 times last season. I think he has 23 career fumbles. And the big issue with all that, though, is if you have small hands, how you're going to be able to perform in cold weather. But Jared Goff feels like he can beat the system in that regard. So, all right, Game Master Scheibe, how did Lutram do on our quiz?
He got 5 out of 5, a perfect score. He's a winner.
Congratulations, Lutram. Thank you so much for playing, sir.
Thank you, everybody. Thank you, Chris.
Absolutely. Thank you so much.
Looks like we're heading to our first break now, but when we come back, our panelists will have their first crack at showcasing their knowledge of this week's sports news. You're listening to What's the Score, the sports news quiz, broadcasting live on Spreaker.com, presented by Sports Radio America.
Hey everyone, this is your host of What's the Score, Baxter Colburn.
And I'm your game master, Josh Scheibe.
Thank you so much for being here with us today. On our break, we'd like to take a moment to thank one of our sponsors, Ticket Liquidator. Ticket Liquidator is one of the world's biggest online ticket marketplaces.
When you call Ticket Liquidator, you can find sold-out tickets to the biggest events on the planet. They offer a huge selection of tickets at 15% lower cost than their competitors. Their fantastic call center has live agents available 7 days a week. Call them today at 855-839-7833. 889.
Ticket Liquidator is a multiple award-winning company, including Deloitte's Fast 500's fastest-growing company in Connecticut. Call today and find tickets to the next big game. Call 855-839-7889 to have access to over 4 million tickets to over 83,000 events worldwide. That number again is 855-839-7889. Hey guys, this is Baxter Colburn, host of What's the Score, the sports news quiz. Did you know that you can listen to us on a lot of different platforms now? Yes, you can. Go and check us out on Spreaker.com. You can download our podcast on Stitcher and on the iTunes App Store. You can also find us on thesportsquotient.com and on sportsradioamerica.com as well. Just about anywhere that you can look for great radio programming, you can find What's the Score, the sports news quiz. Go and check us out today and tell your friends.
Live from Milwaukee, this is What's the Score, the sports news quiz. I'm your game master, Josh Scheibe. This week, our panelists are Grant Coppersmith, Michael Sear, and Chris Gibbons. And now, here's your host at the BLC studios in Milwaukee, Wisconsin, Baxter Colburn.
Thank you, Josh. Thank you, everybody.
Time now for our panelists to showcase their knowledge about this past week's sports news.
But before we do that, Game Master Scheibe, we have a new rule that we're implementing this week on the show. Do you care to share with us and our panelists as well?
I will. When a panelist gives a hint to one of our contestants, and the contestant gets the answer right, the panelist gets a point.
So a little extra bit of bragging rights and a little extra on the line. And that's totally random, too, so we can't tell our contestants who to pick. I understand our next two contestants are in the studio. They are accepting bribes now, so keep that in mind. And I know you guys are Lion fans, so you're probably broke. Grant, you probably have a little extra cap space as a Packer fan, but you're probably not willing to spend it, so you guys you got nothing. So, all right, anyway, so Michael, we'll start with you, though, for our panelist questions this week. Steph Curry set an NBA record this week by doing what for now? Well, 129 straight games now.
Making a three-pointer in a game.
Yes, that is correct. Steph Curry doing wonderful things, as always, unless you are an Oklahoma City Thunder fan, so you got it that time. Scoring a 38.5-foot game-winning shot just for the heck of it, just threw it up for no real reason, and now 129 games straight that he has made a three-pointer. That is ridiculous. Most teams can't even score 129 three-pointers in a season. He's done it for 129 straight games.
Well, Grant, the next question goes to you. I Love ISIS, Go Leafs Go, and G.W. Bush did 9/11, and so many others were just some of the names which NHL team's Twitter account sent automated messages to after the team reached 1 million followers.
What?
They say that
the look
typecasting
on
is
your face says everything.
So yes, I'll give you a little bit of a background. So there's a team in the NHL that reached 1 million followers this week, and they wrote a program. Somebody somewhere wrote a program that's like, hey, we're going to send automated thank you messages from coaches and players and everything, thanking whoever they are. So they started tweeting at these accounts, thanking them for it, but we need to know the name of the team.
The Toronto Maple Leafs.
Oh, you're very close. No, it was the Montreal Canadiens, actually.
Okay. Got a Canadian
Yeah, these were the ones that we could say on the air.
Really?
They were,
Oh, wow. Really?
And somehow, I think it was the algorithm that they wrote or whatever, just was pulling at people that have tweeted at the team instead of like people that actually follow the team. And so, like I said, these are the mild version. These are the family-friendly versions of them. So
Yeah, decent idea, just bad implementation.
Exactly, yes.
And those nice Canadians, who knew they could be so harsh? Jeez.
Yeah, it went bad very, very quickly. I don't know. All right, Chris, question for you. Adam Scheffner is being sued by what NFL player after he released his medical report over the summer?
Ooh.
You do get hints, by the way.
Can I have a hint?
Yes. I can't give you a hand, though, unfortunately.
Jason Pierre-Paul.
Yes, that is correct. The civil suit seeks more than $15,000 in damages per Kevin Draper of Deadspin. I'm not exactly sure why he's suing for $15,000, and I understand the reason for it, but at the same time, it's $15,000 as an NFL player. That's, dinner for a Saturday night with the family, honestly. So I'm not exactly sure why he's doing that, but basically they're just saying that there's confidential reasons or patient confidential reasons is kind of what they're freaking out about. But we'll see. Knowing Jason Pierre-Paul, though, it's, he's probably just looking for money since he's not a relevant name anymore in the league.
Well, we're heading to a break. Our next contestant will show us the state of the job market in our next game. What are your qualifications? Don't go away. You're listening to What's the Score, presented by Sports Radio America, broadcasting live on Spreaker.com.
Hey everyone, this is Baxter Colburn, host of What's the Score, the sports news quiz.
And I'm your game master, Josh Scheibe.
If you enjoy listening to What's the Score, we encourage you to go and listen to us on all the different platforms that we're available on. You can find us on Spreaker.com,
Sports Radio America,
The Sports Quotient,
Stitcher,
and on iTunes as well. Go and download our podcast today and let us know your thoughts. A review never hurt anybody. Hey guys, this is Baxter, the host of What's the Score, the sports news quiz. Want to take a minute to remind all of you to go and check us out on social media. You can find us on Facebook at What's the Score, the sports news quiz, on Twitter at WTS Sports Quiz, and on Instagram at WTS Sports Quiz as well. And if you enjoy the whole hashtag game, like some of us like to do, hashtag goals, hashtag believer, hashtag, I don't know, I'm running out of hashtags. Anyway, use the hashtag What's the Score on Twitter and Instagram and check out some of the other exclusive content that we do as well. Connecting all of us one smartphone at a time.
Welcome back, everyone. You're listening to What's the Score, the sports news quiz, presented by Sports Radio America. I'm Josh Scheibe, your game master. We have a great panel here for you this week. Michael Sear, Chris Gibbons, and Grant Coppersmith, and they'll have the opportunity to show their prowess in just a little bit. Before that, though, here's the host of What's the Score, Baxter Colburn.
Thank you, Josh. Thank you, everybody. Coming up, we put our panelists to the test in our Name 5 Panelist Showdown. If you would like to play the games on air, for those of you watching on Facebook, or those of you that are on social media, or listening to us live on Spreaker, you can go and shoot us an email at WTSSportsQuiz@gmail.com, or you can find the links to our contest form on our Facebook and Twitter pages.
Playing our next game, which we've decided to call What Are Your Qualifications, is Brian Hopkins. Welcome to the show, Brian.
Thank you.
All right, Brian, as you may or may not know, the NFL Combine is full of numerous interviews. You get about a 15-minute speed date with an NFL coach, basically, to show what you're capable of doing. Well, this last week, retired NFL defensive lineman Austin Lane took to Twitter to reveal some very unique questions that he's been asked during his NFL Combine interviews.
Okay.
Lane's not the only NFL player, though, that has been giving all sort of interesting questions, so we decided to put together a game based off of those questions.
In this game, you'll be given 3 options per question. 2 of the 3 options are real questions that players have admitted to being asked, while 1 is made up, as far as we know. Correctly answer 3 out of 5 questions correctly, and you'll win our prize, a What's the Score t-shirt.
Remember, if you are stuck on a question, you can ask one of our lovely panelists, but only on one question.
Okay.
So keep that in mind. Are you ready to play, sir?
I'm ready.
All right, here is your first question. Which of these quotes is not reported a question that was asked at the NFL Combine? Is it A, would you kill somebody if you knew you could get away with it? B, boxers or briefs? Or C, would you ever run for president?
B, boxes or briefs.
No, that is incorrect. It was, would you ever run for president?
Okay.
So plenty of time, still plenty of time. Here we go, next question.
All right. Which of these quotes is not a reported question asked at the NFL Combine? A, would you rather be a cat or a dog? B, do you pay on the first date? Or C, I see you have dreads. You smoke weed, don't you?
Well, it's definitely not C. What was B again?
Do you pay on the first date?
B.
Yes, that is correct. Nicely done. All right, here's your third question. 1 for 2. Let's see if we can keep going. Which of these is not a question that has been asked that we know of? A, can you count to 100 by fives? Do you think your mother is attractive? Or C, do you like girls? The answers may surprise you.
I'm going to take to the panel for this one.
Okay, who would you like to talk to? Michael, Grant, or Chris?
Definitely not the Lions fans, so I'm going to go with the Packer fan.
All right, Grant, what can you do to help our good friend Brian?
Trying to find a way that will not give it away so easily.
I mean, you can give it away, but you just can't tell me the answer.
Right. It's definitely the answer will surprise you. I'm going to say it has nothing to do with the answer has nothing to do with the other gender.
Okay, so what were the options again?
Is it A, you can count to 100 by fives?
A.
Okay, yes, that is correct. Nicely done, 2 for 3. Okay, so we're in a good spot here. All right, here is your next question.
Which of these is not a reported question? A, do you think your mother is a prostitute? B, if you had to murder someone, would you use a gun or a knife? And C, what's your ideal Starbucks drink?
Ooh.
Once again, 2 of these are real questions.
Wow. Talk about an interview. I'm going to say B.
If you had to murder somebody, would you use a gun or a knife? I'm going to ask you one more time to think about that. I'm not going to say it's right or wrong. It's just I'm going to pull the whole Regis Philbin on, do you want to be a millionaire?
Okay.
Is that your final answer?
Can I hear C again, please?
What's your ideal Starbucks drink?
Or?
I don't think that says a lot about a man because my ideal Starbucks drink would not get me drafted by an NFL team, so I'm going to say C.
Yes, that is correct. Nicely done. All right, let's see if we can go 4 for 5.
I liked that deduction right there. That was a very good way because, I mean, getting asked, do you think your mother is a prostitute is a really good way to see.
You know whose mom, you know who the player was that got asked that?
Who?
Des Bryant. Number 1, a man you don't want to make mad in general. Number 2, he said that he kept his composure the entire interview. He got that question, and he got another. I think he got the "Is your mother attractive?" one as well.
It was not a catch.
Yeah. All right, here's your last question. Which of these is not as a reported question at the NFL Combine? Is it A, does your mom still do drugs? B, is Kim Kardashian's butt overrated? Or C, would you share your internet history with us?
I got to say B.
Yes, that is correct. Never turn away from Kim Kardashian's butt. She will lead you to the promised land. Yes, 4 for 5. Game Master Scheibe. Mr. Hopkins did fairly well, did he not?
He did. He got 4 out of 5. Like you said, he's a winner.
Nicely done, Brian. Congratulations.
Thank you.
Hey, panel, some questions for you. Maybe not as round and presumptuous as Kim's butt. Anyway, Grant, we'll go with you first. It took 1/100th of a second for who to win the Daytona 500 title this year. That's how much he won it by. I should say. It didn't take the race that long.
Yeah,
Very fast race. I'd watch NASCAR every time if it took that long.
I mean, and I even watched it. Can I get a hint on this one? I even watched the last couple laps, and I can't remember.
It's a heck of a race. Don't remember a thing about it. You were probably drinking like many NASCAR fans. No, the first name of this gentleman, he has a breakfast restaurant.
I do not know.
No?
Nope, I do.
Not a thing.
Denny's, that's all I got.
You got the first part.
I can't remember his
And
last
then
name.
his last name is something to do with a meal that you'd eat at Easter? Thanksgiving? Not Thanksgiving. Easter.
Hamilton.
Oh, you're so close. Denny Hamlin. Just missed it. Yes, that was the closest win in Daytona 500 history.
Hey, he came from behind, too, after he wasn't winning, and he just came out of nowhere.
So you know that. You know that. Yeah, but you don't know. Oh, all right.
Come from behind. Hail Mary win. That's how we do it.
Would you stop?
Please.
They've been very tolerant of you so far today, Grant. I'm waiting for them to snap and both. They're on either side of you. You're treading dangerous water. They'll probably
Lions are on either side of Richard Rodgers, too. I mean, doesn't really matter.
That's true. There's a pack of lions around him. Still missed it.
But would I use a gun or a knife?
And would you murder somebody if you know you could get away with it?
Well, you're in
Those
Detroit,
were all
you
real
have plenty of
questions, by the
options.
way.
Well, Chris, in a recent game, Cleveland Cavaliers player Kyrie Irving only played 9 minutes due to what keeping him up the night before?
Oh, man. I just read about this.
Everybody just reads or just sees or
Yeah,
just heard or I watched it, but they never know.
Can I get a hint?
Do you want the hint or do you want me to have the hint?
Why don't you give them the hint?
All right. Well, let's just say it's something that you heard a lot about as a child that you hope didn't keep you up at night.
Oh, spiders.
Let's
No?
get a little bit more specific. Something that sounds like it would be made up, but is real. Anything? Anything at all?
Nothing
at all.
Oh.
We were looking for bed bugs. That's what we were looking for.
bugs, yeah.
Bed bugs, yes. According to Kyrie Irving, 5 big-ass bed bugs kept him up all night long. He only played for 9 minutes. That's an official quote, yes. That's, you can't fault me for that one. All right, Michael, question for you. Jaden Newman is a leading girls' high school varsity player in the state of Florida this year, but there's something unique about her and her fact that she's leading the entire state in scoring. What's so special about her as a player?
Isn't she in 6th grade?
Yes, she is. Exactly. Wow, nicely done. She is in 6th grade, and she is better than all varsity high school people that are years older than her, and she's the leading scorer. She's the Steph Curry of Florida high school basketball, apparently.
Well, it's time for another break, but don't worry. We'll be right back, and our panelists will have another chance to answer some questions about this week's sports news. You're listening to What's the Score? Broadcasting on Spreaker.com.
Hey everyone, Baxter Colburn here for What's the Score, the sports news quiz. Want to take a moment to thank one of our sponsors, Sports Radio America. Go and check out sportsradioamerica.com today to find the latest shows about the sports world. You can listen to What's the Score on their network. You can also catch great shows like Pros in the Paint, Sunday Gridiron, the College Credit Hour, 2 Up Front, the BG Sports Show, and oh so much more. Go and check them out today, sportsradioamerica.com. We appreciate their support and yours as well. Hey everyone, this is Baxter Colburn, host of What's the Score, the sports news quiz.
And I'm your game master, Josh Scheibe.
If you think you are smart enough, or smarter than a 5th grader, and want to play our games on air, you can either come by the studio or you can call us, but there's a few different ways you can get a hold of us.
If you'd like to email us, you can do so at WTSSportsQuiz@gmail.com.
Or for you social media savants, head over to Facebook, What's the Score, the sports news quiz, or Twitter, WTS Sports Quiz. Now back to the action with myself and Josh Scheibe.
Welcome back to What's the Score, the sports news quiz, and thanks for listening in. We're broadcasting live from the BLC studios in Milwaukee, Wisconsin. I'm your game master, Josh Scheibe. We are playing this week with Chris Gibbons, Grant Coppersmith, and Michael Sear. And here once again is your host of What's the Score, Baxter Colburn.
Thank you, Josh. Thank you, everybody. Hello, everybody that's watching on Facebook. We had a great first half of the show, but we've got so much more coming up, so make sure you're paying attention or you're listening to us on Spreaker.com. As the show does continue to move on, we want to remind all of you that you can listen to it if you ever miss a live show by going to Spreaker.com, iTunes, and on Stitcher. And you can give us a listen and maybe write us a review as well if you'd be so kind. It's time now for our last slate of questions for our panelists this week.
Chris, Seattle Sounders forward Clint Dempsey got so mad during a recent CONCACAF Champions League match that he did what after the ref made a bad call?
Hint.
Well, he, as you know, jerseys have different things on them that represent certain things, and let's just say he showed his frustration by doing something to one of them. Does that help you at all?
Did he rip off a patch? Or?
Yes, he did. Nicely done.
I'm surprised it wasn't like last week when we had all these people mad at calls and going to their bags that they bring onto the field and start pulling guns on people.
It's Major League Soccer. They're a little bit more established than South American soccer.
They
don't. They at least check them at the gate before they come in. They leave them in their locker. It's a little bit more of a process. Yes. Now, Clint Dempsey's teammate Andres Ivan Schitz was given a yellow card after committing a foul. Dempsey thought the call was total bogus, and in protest, he ripped off his CONCACAF patch off his jersey. All right, Michael, question for you. Miami Marlins manager Don Mattingly has instituted a know-what policy during spring training.
Yeah, I'm going to need a hint on that one.
All you got to do is look at Grant.
No beard?
No facial hair. Yes, that is correct. Right. Nicely done. Michael apparently is also on the Miami Marlins. No, but he's the only panelist that doesn't have facial hair. Chris, we've got Rabbi Chris, and we've got Brother Grant here on the panel
Gibbons
this week.
is in the house.
Father Gibbons, yes. He blessed the show before we went on the air. Yes, it's an attempt at team unity. The team cannot grow any facial hair. They also hired Barry Bonds as their hitting coach, so it sounds like the Marlins are really swinging for the fences this season.
I saw a joke with Barry Bonds and Mike Stanton or Giancarlo Stanton, and sitting next to him is like, "Oh, Barry's telling Mr. Stanton that, I have something that can make you hit better," and he's like, "No, I'll do it the natural way."
Yeah, smart. I love that.
Well, Grant, Reddit released the results of a poll it ran this week about college football teams. Who did the poll say is the most hated team in the country?
According to Reddit. So take that for what it's worth.
Can I get a hint?
I can give you the hint.
The Ohio State.
Yes, that is correct.
That was very clever.
Thank you.
I was thinking it was Ohio State, but I wasn't sure which conference.
Ohio
I was thinking
State.
I was going to get a conference, but I appreciate that.
Yes, Ohio State. Similar to the Cleveland Browns, nothing good comes out of the great state of Ohio. So Ohio State, not loved by many. And even those that do love it, it's hard to find those people that are like, I've been an Ohio State fan since I was, whatever. It's like, can you tell me somebody, in the early 2000s that was on Ohio State? That's what I thought. Okay.
Well, folks, it's time for me to break up the fun once again. But when we come back, this week's final contestant will be playing another new game called The Full Monty. Don't go away. This is What's the Score, the sports news quiz, presented by Sports Radio America, broadcasting live on Spreaker. Hello all, I'm Josh Scheibe, your game master here at What's the Score, the sports news quiz. Thanks for listening in. I may not know much about sports, but what I do know about are our social media pages. Check us out on Facebook at What's the Score, or Twitter and Instagram at WTS Sports Quiz. Thanks very much for listening.
Hey everyone, this is Baxter Colburn, host of What's the Score, the sports news quiz. Do you enjoy sports trivia just about as much as I do? Well, if you do, go and check out thesportsquotient.com, one of the many places that you can listen to What's the Score, the sports news quiz. Not only do they have a killer podcast section, but they have some of the best sports quizzes on the internet that I have ever seen, and I've seen a lot of things, especially in the sports world. Go and check it out today and see just how you stack up against the rest of the sports world. That is thesportsquotient.com.
Hi everyone, I'm your game master, Josh Scheibe.
And I'm your host, Baxter Colburn.
Hey, if you think the show is worth at least $1, why don't you go to our Patreon account?
We'd be very grateful if you donate to the show. That's how people like Josh and I stay employed, or pretend to be employed at least. Thank you so much for listening to What's the Score, the Sports News Quiz. And now, back to more sports trivia action.
Hope my check's in the mail. Welcome back, everyone. This is What's the Score, the Sports News Quiz, presented by Sports Radio America. I'm Josh Scheibe, your game master. Our Name 5 Panelist Showdown is coming up, but first we have our new game, The Full Monty. Here to get the game going is your host at the BLC Studios in Milwaukee, Wisconsin, Baxter Colburn.
Thank you, Josh. Thank you, everybody. Just to ruin the spoilers right away, The Full Monty is not a new wrestling move that we made up watching the fabulous Pfeiffer, Dan Pfeiffer, on the show and his wrestling backyard moves, or something that Grant and Connor made up on the side. Anyway, no, something to do with that. It's an exciting game, though, that we are excited. I guess I'm very excited to keep saying excited. Excited. It's now trending on Twitter. Anyway, we are excited, as I keep saying, for this new game. Playing our new game is John Friedline. Welcome to the show, John. How are you today, sir?
Thanks for having me.
Is John's mic on? Now it
Well,
is.
now it is.
John,
Thank you
hello,
very much for
John.
having me. Sorry
Welcome.
about that.
It's all good. First, it happens. Live radio does that to the best of us. As you know, I can't say Oklahoma, so it happens. All right, John, in this game, you're going to be playing called The Full Monty. You'll be given 5 questions related to something to do with the word Monty. Seems fairly simple. 3 of your options to choose from will be, the question will either be related to football coach Monty Kiffin, the Simpsons character C. Monty Burns, or the Monte Cristo sandwich. So you'll be given clues. You have to tell us which out of those clues is related to what. Make sense?
Yes, makes sense.
Okay.
Answer 3 out of 5 questions correctly, and you'll win our prize, a What's the Score t-shirt. Are you ready to play?
Yes, I am.
All right, here is your first clue. The birthday of this person is on Leap Day.
I'm going to go with Monty Kiffin.
Yes, that is correct. Monty Kiffin turned 76. Burns was born in the late 1800s, and the sandwich is delicious. That's all we know about it.
All right, your next clue. Played varsity football for Yale.
Monty Burns on that one.
Yes. Wow, nicely done. Yes, Burns played for Yale. Kiffin played for Nebraska. And the sandwiches are waiting to be, yes, they haven't, they're tasty, but that's all we've got for him. All right, here's your next one. He has a son named Chris. Not Peter Griffin. That was my first thought, too.
I'm going to go with Monty Kiffin on that one.
Yes.
Not the sandwich.
Yes, that is correct. Nicely done. He is 3 for 3. His son is named Lane Kiffin, as maybe some of you may have heard of. Yes, Lane Kiffin. Burns' son is named Larry, and the Monte Cristo is
the sandwich.
Yes, once again. Believed to have come from France.
That's the sandwich one.
Yes, that is correct. Nicely done. 4 for 4. Here's your final question. Let's see if you can go for perfect, John. You're doing well so far.
Played 1 season in the Canadian Football League.
Monty Kiffin.
Yes, nicely done. 5 for 5. Kiffin played 1 season with the Winnipeg Blue Bombers. Burns has never played beyond Yale that we know of. And, once again, the Monte Cristo is a sandwich. From what we've heard, it's very delicious. So, Game Master Scheibe, before we do that, though, yes, Grant?
Yeah, actually, a little-known fact, the sandwich did play starting quarterback for the Cleveland Browns for 1 season.
Oh, really?
Yeah,
that's good to know.
fact.
How'd that work out for him?
As well as all their quarterbacks go.
Well, I mean, what are you going to do? Is his name added to the jersey list?
Yes,
Okay,
yes,
it's just
it
Monte
is.
Cristo.
Yep.
Fantastic. Game Master Scheibe, how did John do in our quiz?
John got 5 out of 5 correct. He's a winner.
Nicely, John Don. Thank you so much for playing.
Thank you very much. Go Hawks.
Well, the moment you've all been waiting for is almost here. Stick around and listen to our panelists duke it out on the Name 5 Panelist Showdown coming up right after the break. You're listening to What's the Score, presented by Sports Radio America, live on Spreaker.
Hey guys, this is Baxter Colburn, host of What's the Score, the sports news quiz. If you enjoy listening to What's the Score, why not go and donate to our Patreon account today? That's patreon.com. Search for What's the Score and donate today. You can get awesome t-shirts, before the show shout-outs, and so much more. Tell your friends about us. Hey, if you donate, we'd be happy to give you a shout-out and even have you come on the show and play a game or two with us as well. Hey everyone, this is Baxter Colburn, host of What's the Score, the sports news quiz. Want to take a moment to let all of you know that if you enjoy listening to What's the Score, you can find us on thesportsquotient.com. Go and check out thesportsquotient.com. Check out and see how you stack up against the rest of the sports world by taking one of their S quizzes. You can also check out the Fantasy Guru section, and for those of you stat geeks out there, they've got plenty of things for you. Plus, check out all the other great content that they have on their podcast section, like this very show right here, What's the Score? Attention all sports radio fans, yes, I'm talking to you. Go and check out the official sponsor of What's the Score, the sports news quiz. That would be Sports Radio America. If you enjoy all kinds of great sports talk, go and check it out today. You can listen to the BG Sports Show, Sunday Gridiron, Pros in the Paint, Major League Diamond, the College Credit Hour, 2 up front. Oh, and What's the Score, the sports news quiz. You're not going to want to forget about that. And for those of you that love ABA basketball, listen to their ABA on SRA Game of the Week right here on sportsradioamerica.com. And now, back to more What's the Score craziness.
Hello and welcome back. Thanks for listening to What's the Score, the sports news quiz, presented by Sports Radio America. I'm your game master, Josh Scheibe. Our panelists have been warming up for their final showdown, and this week we've made sure to provide them with the Detroit Lions' favorite wine. That wasn't a face mask. Bottled just this last season. Sorry, I just had to pile on. Get it? Pile on. Yeah, I feel a little bad about that.
Get
one.
out.
All right. Anyway, while our panelists scramble to return to their seats, here's your host of the BLC studios in Milwaukee, Wisconsin, Baxter Colburn.
Thank you very much. Once again, unfortunately, Chris and Michael got intercepted on the way to their seats. So, Grant, once again, you win by default, so congratulations.
Yeah, and Josh kind of batted those jokes out of the park on that one.
Anybody else? Anybody else?
Got the entire studio. Anybody?
Yeah, honestly. Screw the name 5. It's fun enough. Let's go. Oh, my gosh. All right. Well, Game Master Scheibe, can you give us the scores this week?
I can. Grant has 2 points, and Michael and Chris are tied with 3.
Oh, my. All right.
Hail Mary.
Hail Mary. Here we go. Plenty of time. For those of you that know, we play 4 rounds in which you guys will have 10 seconds to name 5 people, teams, places, or things related to the sports world. And you will each be given the same category. You cannot repeat answers, of course. 1 point is awarded for each correct answer. Anybody have any questions before we begin? Okay. Who did you say was the who's in last place right now?
Grant,
okay?
right
Grant.
now.
Oh, Grant.
Is
You're going to be going first then, Grant.
Woo!
You'll be naming 5 retired women. No, NFL. No, not NFL. NBA players. Naming 5 retired NBA players.
Okay.
I can't read my own script. On your mark, get set, go.
Kareem Abdul-Jabbar, Michael Jordan, Shaquille O'Neal, Larry Bird, and...
You got 4. All right. You went for the big ones. Nicely done. Nicely done. We're like a rec soccer league here, audience. We like to clap for everything they do. So let's clap for everything, please. Anyway, I'll just pull a Jeb Bush. Please clap. Anyway, Michael, you are next. Are you ready, sir?
Yes.
Naming 5 retired NBA players, and begin.
Gary Payton, Ben Wallace, Chauncey Billups, Patrick Ewing.
You got 3. You got 3. Nicely done. 4. Who did I miss?
counted 4.
Who did I miss?
Patrick Ewing near the end there.
Okay, well, that's 4 then. That's fine. I guess you can't really repeat, can you? All right, Chris, are you ready, sir? So you've had 7 off the board of an expanse. 8. I went to private school. It's been one of those days, folks. It's been one of those days. I'm so sorry.
You got a homeschooler over here, too.
All right, Chris. To add it to my resume. On your mark, Chris. Get set, go.
Bill Russell, Wilt Chamberlain, Magic Johnson, Isaiah Thomas, Joe Dumars.
Nicely done. You got all 5. Oh, yeah, Bill Russell. Oh, yeah, Wilt Chamberlain. Totally
That's
forgot
a lot
about
harder than I
this.
thought it was going to be.
It happens. All right, here is our next category. What? Just keep going. It's fine. All right, our next category is naming 5 current AFC starting quarterbacks. We'll be starting with Michael on this one. On your mark, Michael. Get set, go.
Phillip Rivers, Alex Smith, Peyton Manning, Ben Roethlisberger, Tom Brady.
Nicely done. You got all 5. Woo! All right, Chris, are you ready, sir?
Mm-hmm.
On your mark, get set, go.
Ryan Tannehill, Joe Flacco, Andy Dalton, Alex Smith.
Okay, you got 4. Nicely done, nicely done.
I made the terrible mistake of trying to come up with a Cleveland Brown, whoever's playing for the
I
Cleveland
mean, there is a
Browns.
correct answer.
There is a correct answer. I just couldn't think of it.
Monte Cristo.
Did you have?
Oh,
yeah.
I thought I had said Alex Smith.
Did you?
Yeah, I think so.
Okay. Why don't we take
Oh, okay.
one away from Chris just to be safe? And if Michael ends up winning, we'll give it back to Chris. I mean, they're both Lions fans, so
Just give them both to Grant.
by default. Yes, by default, they both go to Grant. All right, Grant, are you ready,
Seahawks
sir?
ball.
Yeah.
On your mark, get set, go.
Blake Bortles.
Yes.
Marcus Mariota.
Yes.
Johnny Manziel kind of not starting.
I'm looking for a different name. Luke McCown. Is it Luke or Josh? I never know which one it is.
Josh.
Josh McCown.
Is he starting for
He's
Cleveland?
technically the starter. Yes.
Technically?
Technically,
Okay.
Yes.
Who knows?
Technically,
No
somebody
one cares.
plays.
Okay, round number 3. Starting with Chris this time or Michael? I don't remember. Chris, I think we're starting with this time. All right, Chris. Name 5 original backyard sports characters. On your mark, not the pro players. We're looking specifically for the backyard kids. Are you ready?
Ready as I'll ever be.
That's all I need. Ready and begin.
Pablo Sanchez.
Everybody else is like, crap.
Joey Wheeler? No, that's a Yu-Gi-Oh character. there was a kid in a wheelchair.
You got one.
There was a kid in a wheelchair.
We're not laughing at the kid in the wheelchair. We're laughing about the fact that, all right, Grant, he only got one. So now that Pablo's off the board, I mean, really anything's. On your mark, get set, go.
Well, I'm just going to take this time to say thank you to everybody that's listening. Packers for NFC North champions next year. No doubt we should sign a free agent. I think going up picking up a cornerback, that'd be
Nicely done. All right, yeah. I had to level the playing field a little bit with that question. All right, Michael. A vast expanse of people left.
There are a few, yeah.
You could, it might be okay. Here we go. Are you ready? And begin.
Keisha Phillips.
Yes.
Dimitri Petrovic.
Yes.
They're the Miller twins.
Not the Miller.
Man.
Twins, but not Miller.
I don't know I don't remember their last name now. There's the guy in the wheelchair. Don't remember his name either.
Sydney and Ashley Weber. Those are the
Weber.
twins. Yep. And then Kenny Kawaguchi. His sister was Vicky Kawaguchi. Tony Del Vecchio.
She had like the little teddy bear.
That's Luann Louie.
Oh, Luann Louie. Okay.
Who is that? Like the really tall girl?
Really tall. Oh, Billie Jean Blackwood?
I think so. That's what they.
Dante Robinson?
That's the only one I could remember.
I clarified this a couple weeks ago. I do not have Backyard Baseball 2001 on my computer or Backyard Football, but I do.
Definitely does.
Emulators are a beautiful thing. My wife can attest to that. Yes, they're a beautiful thing. All right, Game Master Scheibe. Well, it's a fairly low-scoring game this week, but what are our scores going into the final round?
Grant is in 3rd place with 8 points.
Plenty of time.
Chris has 12, and Michael has 14.
Oh, so Grant can't win, but he
I
can
can't
play
Hail Mary it.
He can play spoils. Wait a minute. Whoa, wait a minute. Do you mean you're telling me that there's going to be a Lion that's going to win this week?
I guess so.
There's
I'm
a first
sorry.
time for everything, Baxter.
They could tie.
They
Pray for a tie. All right, Grant.
-1 point.
Here we go. You'll be naming 5 current MLB players. Fair enough.
Yeah, I got it.
On your mark, get set, go.
I got Albert Pujols, Adam Wainwright, Matt Carpenter, Yadier Molina, and
Oh, we got 4.
wow, I drew a major blank on between the first and the second
Major
one.
blank. All right. I Met Your Mother. Anybody? Thank you. All right. Game Master Shabby, why do you work with me?
I don't know. I'm still trying to figure that one out.
All right, Chris. So you need 2 to tie, 3 or more to take the lead. Are you ready?
Yeah.
On your mark, get set, go.
Miguel Cabrera, Jonas Cespedes, Justin Verlander, Alex Avila, and David Ortiz.
Oh, he got 5.
Taking all the Tigers from me.
I was going to say, I was hoping, Grant, be smart. You're surrounded by 2 Tiger fans. Go for the Tiger players. That's who they're going to go for. But you went for Cardinals.
Because that's who I know.
Yeah. All right, so Game Master Shabby, what does Michael need to tie and to win?
Michael needs 3 points to tie and 4 to win.
Okay, and if you are led to answer all 5, please do so. Are you ready?
Yeah.
On your mark, get set, go.
Clayton Kershaw, Sonny Gray, John Lester, Jonathan Lucroy, and Ryan Braun.
There we go. He got all 5. Nicely done. Game Master Shabby, what is our final score this week?
Michael is the winner with 19 points.
Nicely done. Congratulations, Michael. Not as you were about the same of what you did the last time you were on the show as well. So you're 2 for 2. You're back-to-back winner. That's interesting.
All those backyard sports games and getting 2 names really did it in for me. So.
And like I said, I could probably go through a lot more of the roster if you wanted me to, but it's not about me. It's all about you guys.
Yeah, and I choose to cheer for real winning teams than learning backyard player names and
This
pro
is
sports.
just relentless today.
Yeah, it really is. Anything else you need to say to anybody?
No, I think I'm out of them for right now, but I'll let you guys know if I
Well,
think
you should
of any
give me
more.
something here, Grant. Jeez.
No, nothing.
Yeah. Well, Chris, I'm curious. It was your first time on the panel. How do you feel that you did today?
I thought I did okay. I'd
Just
like
okay?
to come back and get some revenge.
We'll think about
In
it.
the words of Nelly, because 2 is not a winner, and 3 nobody remembers. So I'm going to be number 1.
3. Grant.
Grant,
That's
you're...
you.
No one.
I mean, that's fine. I had to give
remembers
you guys
you.
something. Otherwise,
Yeah,
all
I
I'd hear
I
about you guys
appreciate
is
it.
Exactly,
crying
Grant.
and
It's been a long time since you've been on as a panelist
Yeah,
on the
it's
show.
been a real long time.
What would you compare your first time to where you are now?
I know I'm still bad at this game, so I mean, nothing has really changed.
Is there a question that somebody else got this week that you wish you would have?
Honestly, no. They were all what one thing has changed is the questions have gotten a lot harder. There were no biased hockey questions that I
gave you one hockey question, but
Bush did 9/11. How is that related to hockey at all?
just figured you'd have found out about that.
That's hockey.
Yeah.
Bush did 9/11 equals
Go
hockey.
Leafs
Perfect.
go. I mean, obviously that makes sense. All right, and Michael, 2-time champion now, sir. You feel good? I mean, what are you thinking? What's going through your head
Started
right
from
now?
the top. Now I'm still here and willing to keep it going.
It's the first time any Lions have been 2-0 in a long time.
Yeah, you got that right.
Ooh.
Preseason.
Preseason, yes. Michael is building a dynasty for the Detroit Lions.
It's a rebuilding year.
It is. It's always a rebuilding year in Detroit. Oh, I love it. All right, well, What's the Score has been a production of the Sports Quotient and Sports Radio America. Thank you to all of our contestants and studio audience here at the BLC studio. Thank you to all of you that watched us on Facebook. Thank you for your interaction. Hope you shared the show. Hope you liked it. And hopefully our camerawoman doesn't fall as well as she's doing the best she can to stay involved. So thank you for that. Our panelists this weekend have been Michael Sear, Grant Coppersmith, and Chris Gibbons. Our social media staff is comprised of Brittany Peterson, Anna, and Emily Reister, and our social media producers are Emily Heffler and Erica Hill. Our acting camerawoman and our executive director is my beautiful wife, Elizabeth Colburn. Our theme was composed by Danny Hoffenstein. Our media producer is Eric Condia. Our sound engineer is Kurt Colburn, and our executive producer is Corey Plath.
I've been your game master, Josh Scheibe.
And I've been your host, Baxter Colburn. Thank you so much for watching and listening this week on What's the Score. We will see you next time on What's the Score.